Season 50 War 9, we're up here against Tigra, and we have bands that are going to be Corvus, Crossbones, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Odin, and Mole Man, and my team today is going to be Tigra, Captain Britain, and Vox. And I was originally assigned Onslaught instead of Captain Britain. I asked if I could use Britain for this fight because I knew I could do it, and I was granted that request, so that's pretty cool. So we do have a Britain fight this war, which is very fun, very interesting. So yeah, starting with node 1 Korg, I'm going to be taking full path 1 this war, and then we have 3 minis. In total I have 4 Vox fights, 2 Tigra fights, and this 1 Captain Britain fight. So this is going to be a personal space regen Korg. Again, I was originally assigned Onslaught here, which obviously he's like the better option, but I knew I could do it with Britain, so I wanted to do it with Britain. And luckily I was granted that request because my officer was confident enough in me to, or my co-planner was confident enough in me to allow me to do it, so that was cool. I just need to sometimes back off a little bit to control the regen, and then once I build up enough prowess that I'm comfortable with, we just drop an SP2 that's going to wipe him off the face of the planet, so that's going to be pretty cool. I think I'm going to go for 6 prowess and then build up to a psionic mode SP2. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go 1 more SP1, and then we're going to drop the SP2. I even activated a 100% or 150% mutant power back boost for this fight, which I did not need to do at all, and you're going to see pretty soon why. He's got no regen on him right now, and he's below 50% health, so I'm feeling pretty confident, and I definitely don't think that this was going to be as stressful as I thought it was at first. You also probably noticed I was running a 30% boost for my path fights, which is something that I never do, because I usually use very small boosts for my path fights because I can't afford to get a lot of boosts, and they don't really make them easy to get, so that's a little bit less so now with the super track thing, or super event thing, but still. But I was in the middle of a Necropolis path, so I timed my war fights with the Necropolis path, so I could have high boosts for my war fights, so getting 2 things done at the same time worked out pretty nicely. So next up, we're going to be using Vox for this Iron Man Infinity War on node 10, and this is the exact same strategy I've been using for a bunch of techs on node 10, which is just using a Power Start 1, throwing the SP1 immediately to get the Undermine, and then never having to worry about Masochism again by only using 5-hit combos to chip the opponent down. Eating that SP1 was definitely not intentional. I forgot that there are some characters in the game who will just throw their SP1 at you when you're trying to go hit their block. The ones that come to mind is Iron Man Infinity War, Killmonger, and Sabretooth. There are a couple other ones out there, but there are just certain champs with certain AI that will do that, and Infinity Man is one of them. It's just something I forgot, so I paid the price for it by losing like 25% of my health, but it's not too big a deal. We don't hit too hard on basics, but also we don't hit that bad, and it is a path fight, so the defender's health pool isn't insane, so it's just slow and steady. Ran into the heavy attack because I'm just bad, but it's okay. I need to bait this guy's SP1, he throws it, and we're gonna kill him pretty soon after this from here. We do some nice damage on the basics right there, and then I'm gonna go for an SP3. I'm pretty sure as soon as I push him into the arc reactor phase and then let the armor ups fall off, because once the armor ups fall off, I probably could have thrown it with the armor ups active. Yeah, I was just hoping that he'd be less tanky when I go for the SP3. I probably still could have killed him even if he had the armors, because this SP3 hits very hard, so yeah, it probably wouldn't have mattered. But either way, the fight's over with. I lost almost half my health. This was an expensive war for me, and you're gonna see a lot of that later, but it's worth it if we didn't die, so. Anyway, next up, Tigra's first fight against this man thing on node 19. I'm going to heal up Vox real quick, but I'm not actually using him for the fight, because that would be stupid. But I'm just going to heal him up now in case I somehow forget later while it's on my mind, which I shouldn't forget that, but on the very, very off chance. So Yeah, here we go against Man-Thing. This is a interesting matchup for Tigra. It's weird. Neutralize is a very wonky mechanic, but basically, if you neutralize Man-Thing and he throws his SB1 while the neutralize is active, you will not get a Toxic Pistol on you, so that's cool. It just means that we can Tigra this idiot and not have to worry about getting poisoned as long as we make sure he is neutralized when he throws a special attack. So, very fun fight. When Man-Thing was like in Battlegrounds decks a very long time ago, this was a fun BG's matchup. Obviously, he's never run anymore now, but there used to be a time when he was running Battlegrounds decks a little bit, and that was always a fun matchup, and I got a lot of practice on it, so that was pretty cool. Alright, next up is the infamous Vox versus Buffet matchup, and again, this is something that I wouldn't really assign to a lot of people. It's just something that I will do myself because I trust myself enough to do it. I've taken Peni on this node before, I've taken Mysterio on this node before. The fight sucks, but you can make it work, and you just have to maximize your brain capacity, which luckily I was able to do for this fight. So, in case you didn't know, Vox will lose 5% of his health if he gets a corrupted buff nullified. It's a self-damage effect, which is, you know, always fun, but it's kind of like Captain Marvel movies self-damaging effect, but his is a lot more impactful on attack than Captain Marvel movies is, so it's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is, and I made it work. So basically, I'm just building my buffs. I'm going to go for an SP2 as soon as I get as many buffs as I feel like, which I don't really remember exactly how many it was, but ideally as many as possible. I somehow ate her SP1 there. I don't know how. I think at this point I just decided to drop the SP2 because I was cornered and scared. So now we have 22 degens active. My Corrupted Vigilance got nullified, so we take self-damage there. But if I can play aggressive enough, I can get those 22 degens to be enough to finish her off, which I did play aggressive enough, so it worked out for me. I think the last time I took Peni there, it took 2 degen cycles, so luckily that one only took 1. So, feels good, and glad I can take that tough fight down, so. Alright, next up we're fighting Arcade on node 41. I kind of overlooked how good this placement is when I was originally doing it, because the root just sucks. Like, if he does not throw his special attack or special one immediately after you start baiting it, you're gonna get rooted, and it's not gonna be fun, because you might be in the poisonous cloud. But luckily I had some interesting things I decided to do to avoid getting hit by the poisonous cloud, such as some very fancy spacing tricks that I'm going to show you right here. We're going to dash back against the wall, dash in, and then dash out again, and then we're not in the cloud. So that was something I practiced a lot before going into this matchup. It's very fun to do. It's kind of like a Tigra-esque thing where you want to space yourself with projectiles. So there we go, dash out, dash in again, and I misdexed. I dexed too early, so we got hit by it. But I'm gonna drop the SP1, get out of the route. I have 23 degens. I'm hoping that's enough to kill him. I really want to start playing aggressive during this phase, and I couldn't at the first part, but now I can, and yeah, he's very dead here, so. Yeah, Vox takes care of business for that fight, and we have 2 more fights, starting with Shocker on node 47. This is a fight that the last time I took it, I had a Wags pre-fight, and I thought I could do it without a Wags pre-fight. Yeah, I'm never taking this fight without Wags again. This sucks. This is a terrible fight if you do not have Wags, and you're gonna see why pretty much instantly. So I'm going to go for a parry light attack, because I need to build my clarity before I do anything. And then I'm slow and I get parried, so my indestructible boost is now gone. And now I get parried again, because I got very unlucky. So that's cool, and I still only have 5 clarity charges. So now I'm just like, well, I'm just going to hope that he doesn't auto block me. Oh, it's the evade phase now. So There, eat an unblockable hit because apparently I was slow on my dex. And I'm in the corner, and I'm throwing an SP2, which I don't want to be throwing, and I'm blocking an 11 degens. And I'm at 41%, and he's at 84. So, now we're going to have to block an SP2 that I need him to throw, and somehow not hit me by an attack that looked like it should have whiffed. That light attack looked like it should not have connected with me. I have no idea, man. Luckily, I have my vigilance, so that part of the node is not something I need to worry about. I just need to worry about the shocker thing, because he's annoying. So, I'm throwing my SP2 again, place another cycle of degens, and hopefully not die, because I'm, like, terrified at this point. He full combos in my block, because that's awesome. And I'm just like, please don't hurt me. And he dies. So, never, not without wags. Absolutely not. Never am I doing that without wags again. Okay. Last fight of the war, 49 Kindred. I'd taken this fight before. It was back on the old war map, which was like 6 seasons ago. But basically the old Polka Dot Power Stun Reflect node. I did Kindred versus Tigra matchup, so obviously it's been a long time, but I've done Kindred and Battlegrounds with Tigra. I did practice fight the the Tigra versus Kindred matchup before going into this fight, and here my senses are already half gone because the AI was just no, and there I should have probably gotten hit. I got Tigra's like 10% chance to miss, which was very lucky. But what I need him to be doing is throwing his special attack immediately after I knock him down, and he's just not doing that. So now my spacing is just so out of whack. And of course he does that AI thing that they usually never do, but he does because he decides he's gonna suck, so... it's basically where you have them at the wall, you're going for your heavy after their special attack, and then they just decide to throw light attacks into the air, and then they magically hit you, which has killed me in war before, and he did it there, so that's cool. I should not have dashed back, totally on me, and now I'm kind of screwed over because I did that, because I couldn't get the special counter, so I'm going an Outbreak once again. I need him to throw a special here. He doesn't want to, so now I'm baiting a heavy attack. He doesn't want to. Now he won't dash in. He throws a special there. I'm degenning to death. I'm going to throw it. No, I'm not. I should have thrown an SP1 probably. I'm throwing it here, which barely hits him. The Outbreak is almost over. I'm at 3%, and I apparently block instead of dash back, and I eat his medium. And I kind of just stared at the screen for a little while, because that is my first death of the season, on a season where I legitimately thought I had Deathless almost locked in. So yeah, first death of the season, first death in 12 wars. On a stupid Kindred that should have been such an easy fight, because I've done this matchup constantly. So yeah, Deathless season over just like that. It sucks. It really does. I was in a terrible state of mind the rest of the day. I took this fight in like the early afternoon, so I was still up for a long time. And I took my aggression out on Necropolis. And then, yeah, we did win the war, so 7-2 now. We are back in top 10 Masters, so hopefully we can get another win in this current war, or not the current war, the one that's going to start tomorrow as of the time of recording this, and place even higher. So yeah, Alliance as a whole is doing great, but first death of the season, I honestly shouldn't be as depressed as I am, but I had my hopes really set high for the end of the season, so really upsetting, but it's okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.